Welcome to Ready, Set, Roll, a side story. It's not your usual story. It's a different universe itself. Different characters, same players, and even an occasional guest. Welcome to Ready, Set, Roll, Side Shot.
Hello, everybody. Once again, coming back to another fun episode of Curse of Strahd Edition. This fun week, I was going to put out a episode for Divides, but my computer crashed, so we lost that episode. Hopefully, we can re-record everything, and it'll be fine. But it was recording night, so we salvaged the team, and we're going to throw out Curse of Strahd probably back-to-back. Any Hooters, for a point of inspiration, I think you all have points of inspiration unless you've used it.
Not yet.
Don't think I have.
Well, anybody that wants to be cool, give us a recap of what happened last time.
Oh man, I can never be cool.
I'm trying to remember, 'cause I remember the ending, but I don't remember where we had begun that episode.
All right, well, I will do the recap then. What happened was you all entered the town of Vallaki. Whenever you all, upon entering, you guys saw that there was a carnival cart, and you were interested by said carnival cart. Kinku, running over there as one does, as a curious cat that he is, decides to open up the carnival cart, and out popped a tiger. They chased the tiger to a toy store where they met a odd toy maker named Belansky, and Kinku promptly stole. This last episode had a lot of stealing, a lot of sticky fingers from Kinku. So he stole a doll that looked like Irina, and then he went back to the cart, or she went back to the cart, and y'all did a quick little search. You found a lot of interesting stuff inside the cart. Kinku got the sun sword, some other like silver-tipped weapons and whatnot, and some money. Then you all made your way to the Blue Water Inn, where you met the owner of the tavern, and Roland, you kind of hurt his feelings because you didn't want any wine and you just wanted water. But he gave you the second best room in the place, the best room being Rictavio's, and I'm pretty sure Irina and Roland were sitting at the tables downstairs while Mossbeard and Kinku went upstairs to check out the place, or better yet, check out Rictavio's room. But that's where we're at. So, either you can start or I can start. It's up to you guys.
So Kinku right now is wanting to go into Rictavio's room.
That seemed to be the plan as of last time.
Oh gosh, I can't remember if Mossbeard warned against that in case the man was in the room.
You never did. I recently listened to the episode, and you never did. You're just kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of tired. I'd like to go upstairs and take a nap. And Kinku's like, I want to go upstairs and take a nap in Rictavio's bed.
Yeah, so Mossbeard's just going to go into his room, look at the environment, see the comfiness of it.
Looking at my health from last time from our dear tiger friend, I think Kinku's gonna wait on the adventure to that room and probably get a rest in, because 15 health doesn't look good.
Well, while the boys are sleeping, Roland and Irina, you guys are downstairs, right?
I believe so.
So you guys can like, it's kind of getting a little bit busier because the time of day, it's getting a little bit later in the afternoon because you guys rolled up into town about mid-noon. And the later in the day, the more patrons get in the bar, as usual. And in comes a very fancy half-elf, and the barkeep turns and says, "Mr. Rictavio, good day. Are you interested in lunch? Or, well, I would guess this would be dinner." And Rictavio just waves him off a little bit, but he like moves through this place like, flowing, like a flowing river. Like he's over here and he's kind of snaking his way from table to table, always giving like greetings and talking, and he doesn't seem like he is missing any conversation. He just hops right into them and tells like a couple stories, gets a laugh, and then moves on to the next one. That's how he's making his way through this place. I don't know if you're wanting to listen in or anything like that, but that's kind of how he's moving from table to table.
I'll listen in a little bit, like,
so
not, obviously holding my hand to my ear or anything.
Yeah. So he's next to a table next to where you guys are sitting, and one of the patrons is like, "Oh, Rictavio, tell me one of those crazy stories you've always passing around." And Rictavio's like, "Well, you see, I was once in a far distant land where I saw a maiden who had a beard bigger than any dwarf I've ever seen, and her talent was she said that she could outswim any creature known to man. Well, I bet her a few copper pieces that she could not outswim the fastest creature I've ever seen, a barracuda. Well, they went out to sea, and unfortunately she didn't have to outswim the barracuda because she had to outswim a sea monster. Now this bearded maiden, I tell you, you can believe me when I say that she fought that monstrosity tooth and nail to its bitter end. Unfortunately she died, but it was a crazy story nonetheless."
Can I see how much of what he's saying is actually true?
Yeah, you can incite him.
This person.
While we have the pause, Craig, character's not going to sleep just yet. I actually want to do forging an object. But
Okay.
we'll do that once we get a little bit of time.
All right.
I got a 12 on insight.
Let me see. Where's his bullshit meter at?
It's off the charts.
It's off the chain. It's crazy.
It's over 9,000.
So, you got a 13 rolling?
12.
A 12? Okay. So, for the most part, it seems very sensationalized, kind of like a man telling a fisherman's tale type of deal, but you're kind of listening to it and you're like, man, if this wasn't a true story, how would he not have this detail and this detail? It's kind of like too crazy not to be true.
Okay.
Or, well, you believe it to be. Like, he's like, this is a ridiculous story, and there's no way that this is true, but the way he tells it, it seems like it's a true story. So, while you guys are sitting there, the barkeep, Erwin, he kind of like walks up to your table and he's like, "Ma'am, are you Miss Irina?" And Irina looks up and she says, "Yes, I am. Is there something going on? And he's like, "No. I was handed this note from the Burgermeister. It wasn't obviously from him, but the note is from him." And she opens it up and she goes, "Roland, I have a meeting tomorrow with the Burgermeister, and is there any way that you guys could accompany me to meet with him?"
Of course.
Because I don't know anyone here, and you all are the closest thing to security for me, and I know, for the most part, you all are good people.
I'm sure the others wouldn't have an issue with that.
I really appreciate that. I mean, especially after all we've been through. And Erwin kind of it's like he was listening in, and he goes, not to pry, but is your group an adventuring party? He's asking you, Roland.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, as a matter of fact, we are.
Well, I may have a job if you all are interested. We are running dangerously low on our wine supply. We are expecting a shipment from the Wizard of Wines days ago. But the Festival of the Blazing Sun on the horizon, I fear we will run out of our coveted Red Dragon Crush. I shudder to think what would happen if the coffers ran dry of purple grape mash number 9. If you think that you could check on the shipment and bring the delivery of wine back, I will comp your stay, as well as, and he kind of like looks back and forth, and he leans in and puts a hand up to his mouth so nobody can see what he's saying, and he says, give you our last bottle of Champagne de la Stomp.
I'll have to talk it over with my other companions before we can give you a more formal answer.
Well, as he is like, well, I really appreciate anything that you could do for us. You know, it's the wine here is about the only thing that's keeping us afloat, especially in these tough times. But you know, all will be well according to the Baron. All of these festivals are to keep our heads high in the face of the devil. But if you need anything, you know, food or any other provisions, let me know, and I'd be happy to oblige. Good day. And he kind of like takes off to the next table to see if they need anything.
I'll just kind of bid him a good day and see what Irina would like to do for the remainder of the day, or if we should just kind of lay low.
Well, as you're thinking about laying low, Rick Tavio comes to your table.
Dun,
Of course.
dun, dun. I totally didn't rob him. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, a shadow is cast across the table as Rick Tavio takes a seat. Lady, as he kind of tilts his head and his hat to Irina.
I just imagine the fedora, milady.
Gentleman, as he does the same to, you know, Roland. And he gives like a really like over-exaggerated bow. And he has like these, he's wearing like this, think of the Great Showman, you know, Hugh Jackman, like I am P.T. Barnum type outfit. That's what he's wearing.
Very flamboyant.
Yeah, very flamboyant, as he gives a bow, and he goes, good to meet you. I am Rick Tavio. I couldn't help but to notice a few new faces throughout this bar, and I would like to say hello. And I am assuming that you all came to town for the festival, am I right?
Of course.
I myself have come for the next big attraction. You know, I once knew a man who ate boulders. Giant of a man, really, was a sight to see. And a few months back, I worked with a woman who would swim out to sea. And I swore to you she would wrestle large sea monsters as big as a boat. Of course, as you can imagine, there are a few workplace hazards along the way, but it's a living. So, you all haven't seen or done anything exciting lately, have you?
Oh, nothing, I think, that could compare to such fine tales such as those.
Have you noticed anything odd at all in recent days? Just anything at all? I am a man that procures certain... how may I put this? Extravagant sights to be seen. That's why I've came to this land in the first place, to find quite interesting tales and hopefully bring them back with me.
I wouldn't say we have any stories to tell that have that same charm and demeanor that your others have.
Well, I heard tales of these weird, strange ravens in the area, and he pulls out like a black feather and starts twirling it. Roland, can you give me like a insight check?
Roland's gonna try. With an 8.
So, you think that this feather looks too big to be a raven, but it is a black feather. He's like, so Rictavio goes, well, I'm looking into this thing called, and he looks shifty and says, the Order of the Feather. And I think that they know that I'm on their trail. And they sabotaged my cart today. But I just don't know. I need to find...
Exactly...
I'm sorry, what?
Well, what exactly leads you to believe that this mysterious entity is out after you? Do you believe them to be Cloak and Dagger? Something awful? Horrendous, even?
No, I think that they are just, but they are very secretive, and they from what I hear, they tend to do the right thing, but I just I'm so curious, you know. Can you imagine a secret order of ravens flying around, trying to help people out? And it's just a crazy tale, but if one of someone was on their trail and, you know, they wanted them to maybe not be around anymore, they would let a tiger loose in the town, and hopefully that person would get, you know, kicked out of town, but who knows?
I'm sorry, that sounds oddly specific, but if I may, if that was the case, you're saying that you think these people are sending you a message.
Yes,
Get out of town, that you're onto them.
Either get out of town or, but you know what they say? When you get the most flack, you're right over the target.
Well, I shall certainly keep my ears peeled for any tale of this order of ravens which you speak. It sounds like they are nefarious indeed. I sadly do not know anything more than what you've told me about them, but I will keep a lookout for you, friend.
Okay, well, good day. There are other patrons here that need to be soothsayers, that they will, and he kind of like saunters off to the next table.
Just out of a curiosity and a double check, Roland actually never saw what Kinku did, right? I don't even think Mossbeard saw what Kinku did.
I have no idea.
He's like, I don't remember. No, Roland, you were back at the cart with Irina, and but Mossbeard, I'm pretty sure you were like, Kinku's over there stealing shit.
So we went to go investigate when Mossbeard threw us off. We're just kind of like, yeah, I don't see anything. What's going on? And we hear people screaming, and we're into the damn toy store, and we're like, oh.
Tiger,
yeah. Kind of concerned with the tiger at that time.
So, you were asking Irina what she would like to do with the rest of the day. And she says, let me get to my paper. If we have the time, Roland, I know that you're a man of the cloth, and I don't know about Mossbeard or Kinku if they'd be interested in this, but I plan on paying my respects at St. Andrew's Chapel. Father told me so many tales of his bravery in the face of the devil. They say he's the reason that the devil can't set foot here, but, you know, tall tales and all, they aren't all what they seem, I guess.
With the things we've seen so far, there may be more truth than fiction there.
Well, if we have time, and no rush, I plan on being here a couple days before my brother makes his way to Vlaki, but if we could, and you have time, I would really appreciate going to the chapel, just to pay my respects, if anything, to the Morning Lord.
I'm fine with that. I have no issue with it. We can probably rouse the others to take a jaunt with us.
So, smash cut. What's Kinku and Mossbeard doing?
Kinku is actually going to attempt to make a forgery of the weird Irina doll.
Okay. How long does that take? I'm pretty sure it only takes like a couple hours or something.
I'm not sure. I need to double check. Making forger, because I have advantage when copying or forging objects.
Objects. Okay. Yeah, I know it was as a rogue you have advantage at making like forgeries of papers and stuff, but you're a special
'cause I
type
do
of
have-
rogue.
Yeah, and I do have a forgery kit in my thieves tools.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure it out.
So I would assume that this is an advantage roll with your thieves tools to try to make a forgery. That's I don't know exactly how it'd be, but that's how
I'd say
seeing it.
so. What's the additions I add into it? Is my proficiency, I'm
Your
assuming?
proficiency and your dex modifier plus your roll.
Okay, so I rolled a 16 and a 17, so 17 plus 6, so 23.
Yeah, that's a damn near fucking good ass copy of this doll.
Alright, that's all she wanted to do.
The only thing that's missing is the tag that says if it's no fun, it's no Blansky. Everything else is to the T.
So for the tag, can I swap the tag over to it, or is it just stay to it?
Yeah, you could
I'm
you
gonna
could
do
swap
that.
the tag.
Totally doing that. And I'm
Awesome.
gonna keep the original like tucked very well hidden on my person. The other one, I guess, on top of my bag. So I guess if someone decided to look, that's what they'd find. Oops, I accidentally got rid of my dice rollers. And what's the time of day that we are in Vlatsky? Because I thought we got into it late.
No, you all actually got here about midday, so it's I would say about 1 o'clock. 1, 2, getting there.
How many hit dice do I have left? You know what? I'm going to regain some health using my hit die.
Doing a short
Alrighty.
rest.
Mossbeard, are you taking a short rest or a long rest?
Since it's still daytime, I think a short rest would be in order. Just going to sleep midday would not be fantastic of an idea.
Right.
So
All
I
right.
need to throw 1d8s. 7. Damn, a 7 and an 8.
Oh, that's a D10. All right.
Dan, you have like the noisiest room ever.
It's my chair. It's my chair.
Your chair, you rummaging through dice, everything.
Damn. So I used 3 of my 4 dice, and I got a 7, 8, and an 8. So I'm fully healed.
Nice.
So with the forgery done, I don't need to heal for anything, and it's not like I got anything to duplicate sound. Just let me double check through my stuff. Yep. And then all the gear I got. Okay, well, King is gonna leave the room after completing the forgery, and I guess she's gonna head back down to where Roland and Irina are. Let me browse through. All that. Okay. Don't think. What? I don't even know what I'm running for armor.
Probably just straight leather, right?
I'm assuming it's just. Anyways, that aside, was Kinko goes up to Roland and kind of gives him a tug. Is Roland still downstairs, or because I'm spacing out a bit?
Yeah, I mean, everybody was basically downstairs this whole time.
Okay. Well, she's gonna try to get Roland's attention, like tugging on his shirt, and you hear her say in Mossbeard's voice, "Roland."
I know that tug anywhere.
Well, she and when he looks, she kind of brings up like a coin purse and jingles it, and she's like, "Go buy goods."
Okay, we can certainly do that. What do we need? Or what do you need?
She's kind of. Oh well, you wouldn't know that. She kind of like gives a pat on her chest, like towards like, and kind of like gestures towards like her gears, like maybe look for gear. Is what she's gesturing at.
Okay, I'm sure we can find some armor to fit a nice young birds like yourself. Exactly.
Give me a perception check as you look around the room, because you hear like a big like ha 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 ha, like everybody's laughing at this table. Kinku.
I rolled a 2 with a +4, so a 6.
Well, you don't really see anything over there. You just see like a group of people just laughing and chuckling it up. So, Mossbeard, are you going to make your way down?
Yeah. Yeah, Mossbeard's gonna go ahead and after he's taken his nap, gotten his bones stretched out, just feeling all relaxed, makes his way downstairs, grab a drink, and he will accompany Irina as a kind of bodyguard detail. So as to keep on her, because he doesn't feel like they're exactly out of the woods yet compared to where they are right now.
Right. So,
Especially because you know who can just pop up anywhere.
yeah. Roland, are you wanting to discuss anything with the boys before we move sceneries?
I think just that Irina wanted to go and see the church to pay some respects, and otherwise, that he heard this very interesting thing from our dear charismatic friend that has been strolling about everywhere. Then something about there's this thing he thinks so that's the Order of the Raven. I'm going to give Kenku a very strong look because I know these black feathers are very short and not like actual ravens. And something about letting a tiger loose in the city, and he really thinks someone's out to get him. You all wouldn't know anything about that, would you? And we'll lean in real close.
Kingu, straight face, just kind of gives him a shrug. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
In somebody else's voice. I don't know.
Yeah, like she's heard someone else mumbling, I don't know what you're fucking talking about, man. It's just,
Irina also pipes up and is like, "Well, Roland, don't forget. The barkeep. He also asked if our group, well, mainly you all, because I really don't think I should leave, could help him out in his little wine situation."
Right, I just wanted to touch base on this part first. But otherwise, yes, he did mention something about needing some wine picked up. There's something that's disrupted it in some way. And otherwise, he's a bit worried that his business will suffer as a result. So, can't have that, be good guests and all that, yada yada.
Well, I don't exactly feel entirely safe leaving you alone, Irina.
Well, as long as I am in Vallaki, as far as I know, I should be safe. You know, the devil hasn't set foot here in 100 years. If anything, I could take up safe haven in the church. Maybe the father there, he could provide me some sort of place to stay, if that would ease your worries.
Oh yeah, because the last church really was a bastion of hope.
Well, this isn't Barovia,
Actually,
sir.
you-
Well, it is Barovia,
you-
but not the town of Barovia.
Of course. I'm down for anything, really. Is there anything you two want to do before we attempt to go on this wine hunting?
Again, Kinku kind of like pats at armor and like gear store.
Oh yeah, we could get some gear for you.
All
Give you a
right.
tune-up.
Well, let's go into town. And when I say that, I mean let me go grab my player's handbook. Let's
Let's go shopping.
go shopping. Bam, bam, montage.
Well, as they're moving, Kinku's gonna tug on Roland again, and she's gonna mention and kind of like mention for him to get a little lower so she can whisper because she doesn't want everyone to hear.
I can also pick you up if you want to ride on my shoulder. You're quite light.
She kind of gives him a glare.
It's just an offer. Piggyback rides are always allowed. Don't tell my spirit I said that.
But Kinku basically she in a variety of different voices as she speaks because I'm tired. I don't feel like having to talk in a bunch of different accents and voices. She's like, member cards, illusionist.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten, but I couldn't exactly bring it up in the inn.
Well, she hasn't seen Richtovian yet, but she's just remembering that she's like, carnival wagon.
Right. It's not what he seems. I'm a bit hesitant.
And
around
then
him.
and then she repeats in the woman's voice, "Therein lies what you seek." And then she kind of she's while leaning closer, holds out that weird hilt of a sword, which is the light sun sword or whatever. And she's like,
Oh, that's odd. Where's the rest of it?
she's not gonna activate it, obviously. She's like, Kinko goes, sticky fingers may be item that we sought.
Oh, I see. So that is the case then. Well, I think it's important we try and talk to this guy. He may have other information we need besides this.
Yes, if need be, can give most things back.
Actually,
Just gonna talk like Varix from Destiny.
I have maybe a more exciting, if yet deceptive idea. We're gonna need some feathers and a little bit of time.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, because she's like, all right, but she hides the sword back on her person.
That's fine.
Also, she goes, more sticky fingers, and holds out the weird arena doll from the place. And this one's the fake one at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm still a bit creeped out by that. Was there nothing else that looked interesting that you wanted to take? It had to be this one.
Remember he said for Burgermeister, yes? No buy.
Oh, that's a good point actually. And Irina has a meeting with the Burgermeister tomorrow.
Yeah, so she takes that one and sticks it in and then reaches in and gets the real one out. She goes, made forgery. Can any kind of detective magic on it?
I can't right now. I'm still spent from our last thing because we haven't had a proper sleep.
You hold people will suss me for having the real one.
Okay, I will stuff Which one am I receiving? Am I getting the real or the fake one?
You have the real one. She's keeping the forged one on her person because she's like she was saying, if they get caught and they're going to search someone, it'll probably be her.
Okay, that's fair. I'll tuck away the real one somewhere in my bag. Otherwise, I'm still very... I don't know, I don't trust this town. People are acting weird.
Yep. Kinku nods. She's like, agree.
But for now, let's focus on shopping.
Shopping.
And that's how I made mushroom soup.
And Irina kind of like nods her head, like she's paying attention, but she's really not. She's just like, I really don't want to be in this conversation anymore. Well, anyway, let's head into town. As it was whenever you guys came in, most of the vendors are like street vendors here. So you would have your armorer and everything and such out on the street. Like they just have tables and stuff set up as you would just kind of walk up to them and they peddle their wares. So if there's anything that you would want to look at, let me know. This town basically has almost anything that you would like. I will have to give you the price though.
Okay.
So what is it you're looking for?
Right now, Kiku's kind of want to look at, I guess, armor. Like, if there's any kind of armor, is it of any? I guess anything of note, or is it just regular armor pieces?
It's basically regular armor that you can find. So you got like your paddeds, your leathers, your studdeds, your hide. It's up to they got everything except for splint and plate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how much would the studded leather armor go for?
It would go for 55.
So she's kind of looking over the armor, kind of gives it a shake. She's like, used or new?
Well, it's everything here is new, sir. It's new or refurbished.
Ah! Bam!
Ah, sorry. You're a bird. It's hard for me to tell.
For
Stabs him in the throat.
For Comet, maybe a little lower on price? Yes. And I'll overlook.
For the slight, I can take 3 gold pieces off, but I can't do much more. It's hard times around here.
And she gives him 52 gold then.
Okay, they're happy about it, and if you, the basically what you're seeing is the adventuring line to work doesn't seem to have a long felled life, so a lot of these items are a little bit higher.
Makes sense.
Anything else you fine ladies and gentlemen would like to look for?
Not really. I think I was just I think more or less Mossbeard was just down for letting Kinku get the gear they needed. Well, actually,
You're gonna leave that to Kinku.
You all are getting nothing.
You have all of Mossbeard's money, so
Yeah, yes, I
Kiku's
do.
gonna come out like Ralphie's brother from A Christmas Story, just like padded up, just full of shit.
Well, after the tiger, she's like, need something more.
but like the only thing I could get is scale mail, I think, because it's not it's not metal.
Depending on the type of scale mill, yeah.
Is there anyone in town who sells like silver tipped arrows or crossbow arrows or anything like that, or is it just gonna be regular arrows and whatnot?
Just regular arrows and whatnot. That stuff's like really hard to come by. You'd have to find like a master craftsman, and
That'd be a pain in the ass.
yeah, there's.
I'll just hold on to my silverware sets that I have. Then that'll save me.
Yeah.
You got some silver stuff from the card, didn't you?
I've had a silver short sword since heck, where did we get that from? From a
think it
while
was in the
ago,
house.
and now I have another silver short sword from the cart.
And you have silver-tipped bolts from and a crossbow.
And a hand
Or-
crossbow called the Mother of Pearl.
Yep.
What is there anything special about that, or is it just engraved on it, Mother of Pearl?
It's just engraved on it. You can tell that whoever used this crossbow, it's like a very personalized item for them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
Speaking of hand crossbows, how much are they? I'm assuming they're in town.
Alrighty, let me look at my equipment. Go to my weapons page. I'm so glad I put tabs in my books.
Yeah, and I just want to double check that scroll I got too. That was a scroll protection, and it was against undead and fiends, correct?
That is correct.
All right, because I just wanted to double check because I was looking it up and it's like, oh, scroll, it's this. I was like, okay, just wanted to make sure that's the one.
The hand crossbow in town is 95, or not 95, 90 gold pieces.
Jeez, screw that. I'll just use a bow and like throw the bolts at people.
Yeah.
I'll take some of that hide armor and trade in my leather for the hide.
Alright, so your leather armor is going to fetch you about 7 gold pieces because of the depreciation. And the hide armor is going to cost 15 gold pieces.
So I need 8 more gold pieces. Kingu,
Mm.
do you happen to have 8 gold pieces on you?
Maybe. Why?
I'm just trying to get my armor increased. Bit more protection for your healing.
Ah, yes. She hands you 8 gold pieces.
Alright, yeah, so I will take some hide.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
I was gonna take scale, but I don't exactly like the disadvantage on stealth.
Right, it pays to only have one unstealthy boy in a party.
Yes.
Oh, also, I want to sell some items. Like, remember the cheap jewelry I have? I got 6 pieces, and it's worth 25 gold each. So,
Yep.
or
You're
that
gonna
total?
get 6 times 25?
I think because I got 6 pieces each, cheap jewelry, and I have it listed as 25 gold. I don't know if that's all together or each piece is worth 25.
It should be, if I said that, it should be 25 altogether. Or I would have told
Okay.
you it would be each piece is.
Okay, so yeah, they're worth 25 gold. So
Yeah.
she's
So you'll
gonna
get,
see about selling.
yeah, when you sell that stuff, you'll get what it's for.
Okay. 624. Remove that from my list. And what's the iridium pieces? Is that just a higher
So-
form of gold?
Iridium is like a weird currency in D&D. Some places don't use it and other places do. But this place does use iridium. It's kind of like an in-between between silver and gold.
Yeah. It's
Ah.
very weird.
So
It's like
is there
usually seen as like a dated currency.
any way that I would be able to swap it out for gold?
Yeah, but I don't remember the conversion for that because it's normally like 10 to or like 100 to 1 or whatever.
It's
Ah,
10 to
okay.
1.
So
So
if I
10
had 50,
iridium
I'd
would-
get 5 gold then.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather do that because then it'd be less in my inventory to deal with. Because I was like, so is that all right with you, Craig? Is if I just drop it
That's
down
fine
to
with
5
me.
gold?
Just whenever I say this costs this many iridium, you're gonna have to make the conversion. I'm not keeping track of all that shit.
Well, no, I just got rid of the iridium because I was like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just gonna make it into gold.
Right.
We'll keep that because we might need to use that for him. That's also his. That's also his. That's also his. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, I'm kind of trying to hold on to most of his items just in case.
Freaking
I have to
Ben's
get-
got a Excel spreadsheet for whose items are what.
I have a word pad up going with like, this is where I got this, just in case
Awesome.
something goes wrong.
All right, well, let's move along with the story unless you guys have anything else you want to buy. We can make this a shopping episode if it has to be.
No. Nope, that's all I
I'm
wanted to
sold.
do.
So, Irina will lead you all through town. As you guys hear a distant church bell, it starts to get closer. When you turn the corner, you can see it. An old church in need of long overdue renovations. Upon entering, there are several parishioners kind of like entering the church with you guys. When you guys get inside, there's about 13 men and children in the men, women, and children in attendance. There's an older man in the kneeling position in front of an altar that has a large stained window of a sun in the background. The final bell tolls as everyone stands up, lifts their hands above their heads, and says, "Hail the sun!" The old man kind of struggles to stand up as a younger altar boy comes over to help him. Thank you, Yeska. All hail the sun. You may be
Kingu
seated.
puts her arms up and goes, "Praise the sun."
No. Hail.
The priest gives about a 30-minute sermon on how the morning Lord is going to be there and whatnot. After the sermon, most of the people start to funnel out of the church, and Irina kind of like nudges you guys, and she goes, I really want to go tell the father that it was a very nice sermon, and I'm happy that the morning Lord lives on in this town.
Please go ahead.
So Irina approaches the priest, and she says, "Father, I wanted to tell you how beautiful your church is and how I appreciate your faith in the morning Lord." So Roland, give me a perception check.
Ooh, I got a natural 20, so it's 22.
You can notice that as Irina is talking to him, his eyes kind of drift off her and kind of go to you, and he's kind of got like a look at you, like a glance, like he's giving you kind of like a, "Hey, how about you come over here after I'm done with this conversation?"
Okay. So, I mean, I'll kind of acknowledge it with like a slight nod and make some eye contact for a second.
So Irina, she like shakes his hand and thanks him and is very appreciative and has her whole conversation about, hey, if I needed a place to stay, would there be a place for me here? And he's always like, oh yeah, there's always a place for people here in the Church of the Morning Lord and blah blah. That stuff. But Roland, as you come walking over, you see this man go, "Good sir, you have the looks and feels of a man of the cloth about you. Am I wrong?"
You are correct.
So Roland, he kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and pulls you even more to the side. Says, "I'm Father Lucian, and there has been a theft in the church. I hate to bother you or your companions, but I haven't been able to get the help of the Baron." Father Lucian moves to the back of the altar, and he kind of like gives like a shove to the altar that he was behind, and he like pushes in this panel, and then like you can hear like audible clicking as the panel kind of moves to the side, revealing a old stone staircase. "If you're interested, I would like to ask for your help."
Okay, I'm not opposed to helping you, but I'm going to need more information first.
"Please, if you don't mind, follow me."
Can I bring my companions with me down there?
I'm assuming if they're companions of yours, they're okay with the church.
Okay, I'll go grab everybody real quick and see if they want to go down into this very cool, mysterious basement with a hidden panel, or if they just want to hang out up here in the chapel.
Ooh, investigate a mystery. All right.
Jingles likes different.
All right then.
What about you, Irina?
I think I might stay up here and pray to the Morning Lord some more. You guys can go ahead.
Praise the sun.
Irina, I
just
will say
lights the
this
sword
real
up
quick
in the
before we do go down there.
Do what?
Do not leave the chapel.
Yes, of course. So, Father Lucian kind of like picks up a torch that he has that was lighting the cathedral, and he beckons you guys down towards where the stairs are. Please, if you don't mind, I'll give you a little history on this area. I haven't seen you all in town, so I'm assuming you're not from here. And as you guys are walking down into this staircase, you're noticing that there are like a couple of specifically placed like slots. This is essentially a crypt.
The lovely room of death.
When I die, my bones will be buried here as well, but those aren't the bones that are important. The bones of Saint Andrel himself has been stolen. I'm not sure who would have taken them. Very few people even know that the bones are here, although I could think of a few people who would want them gone if they knew about them.
And why is it that the bones of St. Andrew missing are so important? Or is the rumor I heard about him making this area hallowed ground true?
Well, sir, I'm not entirely sure whether the bones are keeping this place safe or if it is the festivals, but 100 years of these festivals have not been wrong in the past.
How long have these things been missing?
It's only been a couple of days since they've been gone.
Any new appearances since then?
I can think of one.
Appearances of who?
New faces.
No.
Well, besides our faces.
Other than you all know, it's been relatively the same crowd. My following has been less and less over the ages, but, we are starting to dwindle. Less people are taking faith in the Morning Lord and more in the Baron.
Why Baron so influential?
Well, he is the Burgermeister and the one throwing all the festivals.
So, do you suspect he was the one that took the bones?
Well, I guess if the rumors were true that St. Angel's bones were protecting this place, it would undermine his authority of protection. But I don't know. I mean, there are a couple of people, like I said, that I can think of who would go after them if they knew about it. But I'm not entirely sure that the Baron even knew.
So before we keep jumping to any conclusions, who do you think it could have been? Who has access to here?
Well, really, only me and Yeska, my altar boy, are the only ones that know of the bones. But it could be any number of people. The Baron, Lady Watcher, or I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of hooligans. The Gravekeeper, he tends to have a bad attitude, and instead of keeping the graves, he sometimes has a bad attitude and will dishevel them.
Is his altar boy in the room?
His altar boy is upstairs. He's kind of like tidying up after the the sermon. He's just kind of like on janitor duty right now.
Could you tell of Yeska?
I asked Yeska, but he denied anything. He said he never told anybody, but I don't know if I believe the young boy, but like I said, we were the only two that knew that the bones were even down here.
How much trust Yeska?
I've known Yeska since he was a young lad. His parents passed away rather early in the young boy's life, and I took him in under the church, and I raised him. He's going to be my replacement. So, yes, I do have trust in this young lad.
So it's just us down here, right? There aren't anybody other. There's no other people except like the four of us and the priest.
Yeah, basically, the priest, you three, and Bones all around you. Yeska and Irina are in the church itself, upstairs. But you all are more than likely to look around for clues or whatever you got to do.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I can do an investigation check.
Go right ahead.
I don't see shit, Captain. I got a 5.
Let's see.
You are correct.
I'm
You
going to
do
use
not
my
see
point
shit.
of. I'm going to use my point of inspiration.
Might as well. That's
to
why I
get
give it to you.
advantage. All right, that's a little better. How about a 13?
So, 13 investigation reveals that some of the paneling of the floor above you has been recently replaced. And you do see that there is like muddy footprints down in the crypt, and it's not coming from any of you all.
Where does the footprints lead? I'm guessing, do they go anywhere like a secret passage, or they just go in and out?
So
Like
you
the way we
see that the
came.
footprints actually start where the wood is been broken in through and replaced. It starts there. It goes towards the empty spot in the crypt where you can assume the bones of Saint Andrew were, and then they come back, and then they don't go up the stairs where you guys came through. They stop again right there.
Kiku then points, well, jingles technically, or whatever. Points at the wood, the replaced wood, and she goes, "You're doing?"
Yeah, the thief seems to have used some type of tool or something to break in through the wood paneling to get down here. I'm assuming they didn't know of the secret entrance to actually get down into the crypt. But the brute did have to break through the wood paneling to get in.
Where does that lead?
It leads back into the church.
Mossbeard is going to. Is there any like seemingly openings in the panel, even like where he probably like had to torque in, may have done a little damage?
Give me an investigation check, Mossbeard. Or yeah, that's who was talking to me.
Oh, I was just gonna turn into a spider and go through a tiny hole, or anything like that.
Oh, it leads to the top of the church. Like you guys are in the basement, and it looks like somebody broke in from the top.
Oh, okay. I get you. All right. So we might as well go back to the top of the church then.
Before that, the muddy footprints. By looking at them, like, can I tell? Would it be like perhaps like a large foot, like an adult, child, anything of that nature? What kind of shoe, maybe?
So you rolled that 13. And I'm going to use that as your investigation of this room. With your 13, I would say that it's less likely it is a woman's foot and more likely it's a man's foot. That's about as good as I can get you.
Mossbeard takes Roland's foot and puts it next to the boot print.
It's not as big as Roland's foot because Roland, you're like 6 foot tall, right?
About, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as big as Roland's foot. It's slightly smaller. But it's not dramatically smaller.
So we're looking for someone around Roland's height.
Actually,
Who
I'm
came-
gonna grab the torch from the priest if he's, or just one of the ones nearby, and just start heating the muddy print. So, like, see if it'll solidify so we can carry it around.
God damn, I hear y'all, CSI. If the shoe fits.
It might.
No, that's totally cool. Yeah, you can do that. I'm chill with that. But you got to be careful. I'm going to make you roll something. Roll a careful handling check.
You could just make it like make it more less solid. Bleh, I can't think of words. And just get a piece of paper or parchment and just do that.
Oh, sketch over it.
Just basically lay it over the mud and just have the mud go onto the parchment instead of having to take like the whole footprint / stone.
I mean, like, if we can do that part first then, and then if I fuck up, we still have plan B.
Oh, true.
Or I'd like to think there's more than one footprint. How about that?
All right. The thief heard, like, Kinku heard you say that. It's like, are you serious? She just waits for you to heat it up and just pulls out a parchment and goes, ta-da, footprint on paper.
I mean, that works too. See, isn't it a good thing you guys came down here with me, or I could have botched this whole thing up.
Mossbeard's
Nothing
gonna
like a
taste
thief
the dirt.
looking out for a thief.
Yeah. Mossbeard's gonna taste the dirt.
You
Tastes
saying
like
that
dirt.
just made me think of Mole from Atlantis.
I mean,
I love that movie.
Me,
Mossbeard kind of is like that.
So I will tell you from Mossbeard that it is muddy. It's not like dirt, like somebody walked in with dirty shoes. It's muddy, like muddy footprints.
Fresh mud. Did it rain recently, Father?
No, I mean it's always kind of misty outside.
Is there a place where water conducts itself a little bit more in the area?
Well,
A river, a stream.
the river and lake outside of town.
I will have to taste the dirt outside to see if I can get a better location.
Well, as you all are tasting dirt, I think this is a good place to stop for the evening because we have to solve a mystery.
Yay!
Ruh-roh.
One
Raggy?
person and a dog short.
So,
Is it time to solve this?
real quick, anybody have any like one of you give me a testimony about Curse of Strahd. Just one person. Go.
We're getting to do an investigation! Woo!
All right, great. Catch y'all next time on Curse of Strahd.
Murder.